Well, I think the first place to start is the shop itself and the plans with it. Now, I have to remind everyone that it usually doesn't look like this. I started beforehand, and decided to start recording, but usually it is a hot mess because I have like 30 different projects going on. Over here, I like to call my dirty area. Excuse me. This area here is going to be more of the metal fabrication than I always do. As you can see with the bench, it's filthy with grease and everything. So if I have to work on the vehicles, I can work on this area here. If I'm going to do some forging, some welding, this is a designated area. This here, the planer, is going to be going down into the woodworking area, which is a hot mess, mostly off of film, because I started leveling off my table and rearranging, going through stuff, because you'll be surprised of how much crap that you'll acquire over 30 years. And I've already got rid of a lot of stuff, you know, and a lot of stuff that I have now, I really don't even use. But this here is going to be the woodworking area, because I do a lot of woodworking too. And then back here is going to be storage. You're going to see what's going to happen with that. So basically the rundown is going to be pretty simple. Down here, I'm going to start in the hot mess zone. Anything that I don't like, I'm going to either give away, and you know, for someone that has use for it, or take it to work. We're going to see what I have going on there. Things that does not belong in the hot mess zone, that will be coming down here. The whole method of madness is start with that area and keep moving down. And then I know I'm going to have to make some stuff, you know, because I'm not going to go out there and spend a bunch of money, you know, to organize. Mostly when I'm perfectly capable of doing it with a forge, with saws, with planers, with a welder, a bench grinder, hand planes. Let's go over here. Hand planes. That's an old baby right there. So that's pretty much what the shop kind of looks like. I'm gonna have to stress again for the critical ones. Usually it doesn't look like this. This is all because I started before I made the video. So let's get started with this. Fun times, right? Since we got the floor somewhat cleaned up, that's a good place to start. We're going to work on the welding slash forge table. And what we're going to do is we're going to weld a piece of scrap here so I can get all my clamps for metalworking off of this makeshift shelf. This way everything will be nice and handy right here if I'm welding, blacksmithing, anything like that. Now unfortunately this top is like extremely thick, so the smaller clamps, like the C clamps, won't work. Actually it will work. Huh. Surprised. But anyways, that's what we're going to be working on right now. And this way we get that out of the way. So I already grabbed a piece of scrap, and I'm gonna set up real quick, and we're gonna cut this with an angle grinder, and then we're going to tack it and weld it on. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna take a measurement to see what we're working with. Now we're doing approximate, so 17 inches will be fine. We'll do a piece there and a piece there.
I'll take the piece of scrap that I already have. And these things here, they're for the vise. They're supposed to protect your work. I'm not a big fan of those. I mean, if you do a lot of delicate work, that's fine, but they like to slip a lot when you're trying to clamp. So we'll mark it at 17. It only has to be rough since it's going to be filled in with weld. All right, 17 there. And we'll get the grinder hooked up. And we'll cut that piece off. Now, obviously, I have one piece cut. I just want to bring up that these Milwaukee angle grinders, I like these better than the DeWalt's. It fits so much better in my hands. The DeWalt's are so thick, you know, but I do like DeWalt too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little line here. I'm just going to do a quick pass so this way my angle grinder or my cutoff wheel can follow it. And then we're going to cut through it and we're going to clean it up with a file. Watch out for the dogs. I always have steel toes on, but still. And I'll come over here. I mean, you could put a flap disc on, but this here, I'm not building anything that's really structural. So I'm just gonna knock off some of these burrs. And I'm not worried about my cuts. So now we got our two pieces ready. So we'll get the welder set up. Since the other side's done, just gotta do this side here. Mark it at 7. I'll mark it at 7. Like so. And we'll tack it. And those two spots, here and here, and here and here. I have to. Like all that. There we go. At least get it semi-straight. Should have used a hammer instead of my hand. Good way to cut yourself. Cooperate with me. Clamp keeps pulling it down. That happens a lot. So we'll tack it there, 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 and then we'll run the bead. And just so you know, I'm using a little Lincoln 140 HD. I don't have a bigger voltage wiring in this shop, so it's not a bad welder. I wouldn't go by the chart at all, because when I welded on the other side, I went straight to the chart and it was off, which I'll most likely show you the crappier weld over there, so I had to readjust it. So I would highly recommend that after when you find your sweet spot, depending on the way that you weld. Some people weld fast and they like it hot. Some people weld slower and they try to get pretty. You know, I would just write on the chart of the dimensions, the thickness of the metal that you're using, and the settings that you had. So this way you can just go right to it. I'm still using the 350Ps and the 250Ps because I weld my day job quite often. So let's go. Now, since we got everything all welded up, let's make some room off the shelf here. Now we'll have easy access. fill all that up with clamps. Forget about this big boy. That's one of the downfalls with big clamps, but that'll work. Now I just want to give you a real quick tip of when you're welding down, which is like extremely easy in my opinion. You want to, of course, be stable. And obviously, if you recall, those two spots there were tacked. You start your puddle, you come down, you come back up, grab that puddle, come back down, come back up, just like that. So you just keep grabbing that puddle and you bring it down. And if it's a real wide spot, then you would just kind of go in circle, come back up, small circle, come back up. But like with this welder, with this weld here, it's a pretty simple one. So down, back up, grab the puddle, down, back up, grab the puddle. All right, well, since we have this taken care of, I'm still undecided if I'm just gonna make a shelf under there, but most likely I will. I have to go through the scrap, but I just wanted to get that done. Now, just like anything else, the job's not done until when you pick up after everything. So I'm gonna put everything away that I used for this project, and I'm going to kind of straighten that up over there. I won't be filming any of that just because who wants to watch someone clean, right? So there should be a new video coming out in a day or two, or unless if I come up with a different project that I'm gonna be working on in here that maybe you can find useful. I know I didn't really go into too much detail with this. That was just kind of a quick little job that I did. So I'll see you in the next video.